All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to session number 2 of our Build with AI on Google Cloud. Today, this is the second session of our 5-session study series. We're going to have a GenAI deep dive. This event is a collaboration between GDG Seattle, GDG Surrey, GDG Vancouver, and GDG Burnaby. And to get started, just a introduction about Google Developer Group Seattle. And we have 4 organizers, me, Anchi, and is on the call today, Clive and Vishal. And we have been around since 2010, or like a long time ago. So I have included some photos here. Like every year we will have IO Extended, DevFest, and all kinds of events. We have almost 7,000 members on Meetup. And also, if you haven't joined us, please join us on LinkedIn and Bevy and Meetup. And Pretty, would you like to talk about GDG Surrey?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thanks, GTG Seattle team for the opportunity and Margaret Yenchi. This is a great collaboration. Just about GTG Surrey, we are volunteer led community as other GTGs are. We try to run similar events. We try to collaborate with other communities. So if you have any communities you're leading up or you want to partner, just let us know. Um, at the moment, the team you see in red is the current team that we have, but we are volunteers. We keep changing roles and love to do what we are doing. I would bring this point up, Margaret and Annie, both of you. You have been amazing support for GTG Surrey. We started last year. Most of our events, both of you are there, and we are very, very thankful to have both of you. And now extending the collaboration with Yanchi and Santosh as well. So yes, lovely to be here. Thankful to be in this space.
Great. Thank you very much, Pretty. Yes, I think last year I did. Thank you for inviting me, GDG Survey. I did give 2 talks up in the Vancouver area. And it's
Yeah,
absolutely great to collaborate with you.
yes. And we kicked off with virtual event series that was
Mhm.
Road to Google Developer Certification, and GDG Seattle, you accepted the proposal. And
Mhm.
yeah, I guess ever since we have been learning from you.
Great. And Santosh from GDG Vancouver, would you like to give us an overview of your chapter?
Yeah, thank you, Margaret. Hello, everyone. It's great to have you all here for today's session as a part of the Build with AI on Google Cloud study series. So, quick intro about the GTG Vancouver. So, we are a community-driven tech group. So, we host various events and workshops covering like AI, cloud computing, mobile, and web development, and so on. So, whether you are a beginner or an experienced developer, right? So our goal is to foster a supportive space for learning as well as for networking. And I would have to say a big thank you to our amazing co-hosts, GDG's Seattle and GDG Surrey and Burnaby for making this session possible. If you're interested in staying connected with GDG Vancouver, please feel free to follow us on social media using the QR code available there. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Santosh. And then GDG Burnaby, we don't have a representative here today, but I did include their link to Bevy and LinkedIn. And after our event, we'll share the slides so that you can also follow and join them. So today's the agenda. We're going to go over a quick overview of the study series. If you have joined us last week already, there will be like a couple slides that you've already seen. So please bear with me as I go over them again for the new attendees. Then there will be two talks. The first one, I will give a short talk on Imagine 3, and then Annie from Google is going to be talking about AI foundations. Then we will have Q&A that Preeti will host the Q&A session. So a quick overview, how we came about to have these 5 study series is that a couple of things, as Preeti mentioned, that last year GDG Seattle and GDG Surrey collaborated on a multi-series study group and to study Google Cloud MLE certification, and it went really well. So this 5-session study online study session, again, it's kind of similar to that we use Google Cloud Skills Boost to do for the attendees to study on their own, and then we'll come together in these sessions, have some short talks and Q&As to help you with your study. And the second thing, aside from the collaboration between the GDGs, is also Google has these 4 new GenAI learning paths on Google Cloud Skills Boost that targeted towards app developers, data scientists, data analysts, and also ML engineers. And so our 5 study sessions, basically last session was more of an intro, and then today's session is corresponding to the generate smarter GenAI output. So here, this is the story that I wrote on Medium. You can read about it later. And basically, these are the dates as you see in the event links. And then these are the link to the Google Cloud Skills Boost path. As I mentioned before, each session will have 2 short talks and then a Q&A session. So what is a learning path? For those of you who are new to the Google Cloud Skills path, Google Cloud Skills Boost is that it's an online learning platform, and each path has multiple courses, and each course has videos, recommended reading, quiz, and the hands-on labs. And you will have at least 2 weeks to work through the materials. And so it's okay if you don't finish. And also you can feel free to study ahead. Like for example, today we are on session 2, right? And if you are going to start with the second GenAI path after today's session, it's okay. But if you're already studying ahead, you're already halfway through or almost done, it's fine too. And for those of you who are new here, please make sure to sign up with Cloud Skills Boost. So who here, I think we have 56 attendees, participants right now. Does everybody already sign up, or like who hasn't signed up for Cloud Skills Boost yet? Anyway, if you RSVP to our event, you should already have free access for a period of time, and you should already be able to access the video courses on the Cloud Skills Boost. And as I mentioned, you can work on the GenAI path before, after each session. So let's see, did anybody? Oh, okay, Preeti says sign up. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So if you have any questions on this session, there's a Q&A. You see chat, DM, and then Q&A. You can feel free type your questions under Q&A. I have the Q&A tab. I have enabled that already. So these I will not answer questions about my talk until Annie finishes her talk and when we go to the Q&A session. So today I'm going to be talking about Imagine 3. And how many of you have heard about Imagine 3 already? Okay. All right. So a quick intro about me. I'm a GDG Seattle organizer. Besides that, I'm also AI and ML GDE. I also work with 3D and fashion design. I teach part-time at MSIS, UW Foster, generative AI, and previously I worked at Microsoft Design Studio, Microsoft Research, and Microsoft Bing. In some of my talk today, a few slides are kind of a repeat from the last session. So just because I'm talking about generative AI and Imagine 3, focusing on image, that's where my focus is. So Gen AI is a type of AI that creates new content such as text, images, video, and audio. And the input can also have these multimodal text, image, and video and audio as well. And in terms of vision, there are different kind of vision generative models. And long time ago, from 2014, GANs were really popular. Back then, lots of people were implementing different variations of GANs. And then we have autoregressive models, VAEs, flow-based models, and then 2020 diffusion model is really what's being used in many of the modern image generation models. And then 2022, we have diffusion transformers. And how diffusion models work is we train the model and gradually add the Gaussian noise to the training data, and the model learn how to reverse the process to generate images from noises. And I just want to also mention how important CLIP is, which is a bridge between a language and computer vision. And it's a text encoder and an image encoder. And many of these image generation models that use text as prompting use CLIP. And then I mentioned the diffusion transformer here, that it uses it's been using a lot of the state of the art models like Sora and Stable Diffusion 3. And here's a quick timeline of generative AI in vision. This is from the paper, the Sora paper. And then in the end, I added like Imagine 3 and VO and Video FX. Imagine 3 was announced August of last year and added a lot of new features. And VO2, well, VO and Video FX were announced at I/O last year, but VO2 was released last December, and then Video FX is also released last December. So what is Imagine 3? Imagine 3 is Google's state-of-the-art text-to-image model. It can generate images, and you can edit images in painting, out painting, and background, and then you can customize with references. Um, a couple of things I didn't mention on my slides, I just also want to mention is that Imagine 3 is very good with photorealism. It can generate different styles of images, but it can like photorealistic images is really Imagine 3's strength, and it does render text on images very well compared to other models. As of today, Imagine 3 claims top spot on the Lindsay's arena for text to image generation models. As you can see, this is a screenshot, and I included a link here for you to check later on. So how to access Imagine 3? There are many different ways to access Imagine 3. You can access it through Google Labs Image FX. So how many of you heard of has anyone heard of Image FX? You can also access it through Google Gemini app. The Gemini app, just like ChatGPT, you can access this through the web browser, or you can use a mobile app. So who here actually use Google Gemini app? Anyone? Has anyone tried Imagine 3 in Gemini? Okay, some of you. Yeah, so if you already use Google Gemini, you can already go in there and say, oh, generate such and such an image for me. And you can also, in the Gemini app, you can also say, edit image for me. You can prompt, but however, every time, if you're in Gemini app, every time you make a change, it's a new image getting generated. So it's like slightly different. So yes, they can edit image, but not as good. I will get to that. I will show you an example of editing images, like really fine control. And then finally, you can access the Imagine 3 via Google Cloud Vertex AI. Since this is where, this is built with AI on Google Cloud, most of the features that I'm sharing, with you, are the results from the Vertex AI. You can also write code and to access the Imagine 3 model on Google Cloud, but write the code and run it in Google Colab as well. Okay, so Timothy said I tried a couple of Imagine 3 prompts. Good. All right, so here's an example of image generation, and I will, text to image models, of course, the first scenario is to generate images, right? So here's an example. I can create a floral design in watercolor style with Imagine 3, and the quality is really good. And you can see this is high resolution. And I can take this, like a small piece of this fabric, and then I can integrate that print, the fabric print, into my 3D fashion design in Close 3D. So this image to the left is what's generating Imagine 3, and the image to the right is what I created in Close 3D. And Vertex AI, the Google Cloud, and the Vertex AI Studio under Vision. Here you can see you can also edit image with mask. So once you generate the image, you can click on edit image. As you can see, there are quite a few masks. You can do a box or brush mask, and you can extract. And the extract, you can extract the foreground or the background, right? And then you can pick which model you want. And so here I using Imagine 3, and then there's a couple of modes in painting, uh, uh, out painting, and in painting, insert, in painting, remove, out paint, and then the product background. And you can set number of results. So here is an example of me using the mask to change the images. The very first image is the original, which is again it's generated with Imagine 3. And then the second one is I use a mask. I use the brush mask to brush around the necklace, and then I removed it with in painting removal. So in the second image, you can see the necklace is removed. And then in the third image, I use a box mask to mask the earring and then generated a new earring. So, and as you can see, the three images, they look exactly the same, except for the subtle differences. Second one doesn't have a necklace. The third one has a different earring. And Imagine 3 can also change the background very well with prompt. So these four images, this first one is the original one, and then I changed the second background, and then the third one is like a sandy beach by the ocean, and the fourth one has some flowers and the plants. And this one is a generating a new image with a reference image. So here I'm using two reference images. The second and the third image are the reference images of the teacup. And then the first image is actually generated with a prompt such as a woman is drinking uh, uh, tea from a teacup. She's wearing a blue sweater. So you can see that the reference image is this product of the teacup, and then that gets translated into this new generated image, but we're using the teacup reference images. And this is another example that we are using reference image. I'm using just one reference image, but I'm generating multiple different images. So this first one, the woman is wearing like an orange kind of dress, and I changed the color to blue, and then I changed it to like a purple flora dress, and then I changed it to a green dress. And notice that like her overall facial appearance and her hair and the dress style and even her shoes and the little purse she's wearing, it's exactly the same, but I change only the dress color. Okay, so I want to mention VO2 and video FX as well quickly, even though I'm talking about Imagine 3. So who here has already tried video FX? Anybody? Anyway, in video FX, there are two modes. One is text to image. Another one is actually sorry, the first one should be text to video. The second one is text to image to video. And in the text to image to video, we actually use Imagine 3 to generate an image. And then the second model, the VO2 model, actually create the video based on the still image. And this is the um, video FX or VO2 generated. I also have music. You probably couldn't hear the music since I'm wearing a headphone. But anyway, this is video created with video FX. Okay. All right. So that's it for my talk. Thank you. Thank you everyone very much. And please connect with me if you want to learn more about AI, art, and design. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. So Annie can share screen.
Yeah, thank you so much for this awesome talk. It's really interesting. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you, Annie.
It's really fun. Definitely want to know your prompt afterwards.
Sure, I will share that. Thank you. Yeah. By the way, the features that I shared today on Imagine 3, they were just released in December very recently. Yeah, I'm glad you like my talk, Annie. And then everyone, please welcome Annie Wang from Google. She's now going to give us a talk on AI foundations from embeddings to RAG.
Yeah. Thank you so much for introducing me. Hello, everyone. My name is Annie. I am currently working at Google as a software engineer, and also I'm a certified career coach, being talking to Google employee, like around 300 people about their career problem, because I'm really, really passionate about helping people with their career, helping people like empower community. And also, if you look at the image, there's my dog. Her name is Momo. Just want to say hi to each of you. And today's topic is about embedding, from everything from embedding to RAG. And before we talk about what is embedding, what is RAG, let's take a look at this example. So imagine you turn on your car and all of a sudden the dashboard lights up and it has some warning. And you're like, oh, what is going on? Is it safe to drive? Should you call a tow truck? Like, what should you do? And then you think about your best friend, LLM. So you ask Gemini, oh, hey, what is going on with my car? And the Gemini, it gives you some troubleshooting tips. However, because AI itself lacks some connection to your specific issue, it doesn't know your car data, it doesn't know repair history, the driving condition, it doesn't know the menu, the car model. So it's not likely to give you a very accurate answer. So the case is like you're asking the model, oh, what does this warning light mean on my car? And so LM generate the response and send back to you the answer. However, it may not be correct. So the standalone, so that's a very common problem with LLM, that LLM trained on the history data. So oftentimes it has hallucination. And that's why we have this new pattern called RAG, retrieval augmented generation. So now you should ask LLM what is going on with the car, and LLM is able to retrieval from external database, and then it's more likely to give you an accurate answer. So this is updated model. So now you're asking model, what is going on with my car? And model is able to query from vector DB and then get back the answer back to the user. However, if you don't know RAG, you may wonder, oh, what is vector DB? I heard people talking about embedding vector DB RAG, and what is it? Why you need to use vector DB in this case? So many questions. And when I first time learning this, I was so confused. And don't worry, you will be able to understand what it is by the end of in 10 minutes by the end of this talk. All right, so let's start from what is embedding. To understand what is embedding, let's take a look at this picture. So you can see there's some food there, hot dog, salad, pizza. And embedding is basically the low dimensions, like a numeric representation of information. So now with this food information, this is, I want to describe what is the food with like I want to describe the food information by how sandwich it is. So it is very sandwich. I'm gonna put it on the right, and if it's very liquid or like not very sandwich, I will gonna put it on the left. So you can see that I'm gonna describe this food information in this one dimension space by describing the food information by how sandwich it is. But of course, it is not very accurate. You cannot just distinguish what is hot dog and pizza just simply by how sandwich it is. And therefore, we introduce more dimension. We introduce how liquid it is or like dessertness, so that we're able to describe food information with those dimensions. And here we basically put those food information in this 3-dimension embedding space, and therefore we're using this numeric representation to represent the food information over here. And I'm gonna give you a quick demo, so you probably have a better understanding of what is embedding. Let me quickly share my screen. Okay. And you can see this is an example embedding space. I can share this link to you by the end of the talk. So for example, I'm trying to, oh, okay, sorry, I'm gonna change, okay. For example, if I search orange, and you can see that I can find the orange in this embedding space. And I can also see the nearest points in this original space. They're yellow, green, blue, purple. So they're all different color, and yellow are more likely, yellow is similar to orange, and purple is not similar to orange, but it's also color. So you can see that when the meaning are similar, they're physically close to each other in this embedding space. And you can play around by search, like different things here. Okay, if I search Apple, it actually find Microsoft, not orange. But yeah, it's fun. Like you got the meaning of, okay, this is the embedding, this is the embedding space. And now I'm gonna quickly go back to my slide. Okay. So in the code, we have this pre-trained text embedding model, and if you fit your data to the text embedding model, you're gonna get this numeric representation to represent this text information. Let's imagine the word bug. If I ask you what is bug mean, like what is first thing come to your mind? I'm gonna pause a sec to see if anyone. Okay, so insect. Thanks, water, ant, bug. I created a bug all the time. Error. headache, software defect, error. Okay, see, if I ask you what does bug mean, some people think it's insect, some people think they're error. So Walter thinks insect, but Ray think it's headache. It can be different meaning. So that is a power, like, so that's why I want to like, so okay, in traditional days, we want to search bug in a database, we simply search the character bug in a database, right? But now with embedding, we're actually able to capture the meaning of embedding, so that if we search bug in the garden, it's actually like physically close to the embedding of insect and beetle, and is further away from bug in the code. So back to the chat, and it's actually far away from headache and arrow. So bug in the garden is gonna be closer to insect, but if bug in the code, you're probably gonna closer to headache. Yeah, you got what I mean. So that's how powerful the embedding is. It can actually capture the meaning. And just quick, here's a quick introduction of multimodal embedding. Basically, not only we can get the embedding of text information, we can also get embedding of video information or image information. We can be able to capture the embedding of a different type of information. And now let's go to the vector search. So we're trying to query this item in this giant embedding space. We're trying to find the top K similar result to this query item. And how are we going to do that? So basically, we get the embedding of the query item, the things we want to search. And in this whole embedding space, we find the point that physically close to the query item. And that's actually like similar, the meaning like is actually similar to the search item. And you can see that from the previous demo, because because how physically close they are in the embedding space represent how similar they are. And a quick example is, now you can see this image, cat, and I can have this from the pre-trained multimodal embedding of model. I can get this embedding in this joint embedding space, and have this text information, Greek cat laying in front of the Christmas tree. I can also get this embedding the joint space. So here, they're actually physically closer to each other in this joint embedding space. So that means in the real life application, I'm able to search from text to image and image to text. If this model can capture can generate the embedding from video, I can also like search from text to video and video to text. So that is really powerful. I probably don't have time to show you some data, some demo this time. But if you're interested, I can share some demo to you afterwards. And now let's go to RAG. Today's topic, RAG. And at the beginning, I show you RAG. We able to query the external data from database. So basically, when we first heard about RAG, it's retrieval augmented generation. And retrieval means we retrieve this information from vector DB, from external database. And after we do retrieval, the chunks that retrieved from vector search, they're fed into LLM. So imagine like, okay, we get the embedding of the query item, and then we search in this embedding space. We actually got the result that's similar to the query item, and those chunks retrieved. And then, so this result augment to the existing LLM knowledge. Now I not only have AI existing knowledge, I also have this external knowledge. So with all this knowledge, AI is able to generate answers that are more likely to be accurate. So that is the basic flow of retrieval augmented generation. So chunks retrieved from vector search and augment with existing AI knowledge, and then generate a more accurate answer. So with standalone LLM, if you ask the car, if you ask the model, what is going on with my car? What does this warning light mean on my car? You simply just get an answer, and this answer is based on the pre-trained model knowledge. But with RAG, so I'm not sure if you can see my mouse. Can you see my mouse? Okay, you cannot see where my mouse point, but yeah, I can just talk about it. So with basic RAG, we have three foundation aspect: retrieval, augmented generation. So when user asks a question, this question is turned into embedding. And then this embedding is a match against the vector DB containing embedding for text chunks, image, and code, and more. And then we are able to get this. So you can see at the bottom, the document chunk, image chunk. So that's the result of retrieval. And then we augment this result to the existing knowledge. And then we're able to generate the response and send this answer back to the user. So imagine that when we do the retrieval part, we are able to retrieve the information of the car model, the car history, the user habit, or all the necessary knowledge to help us understand the situation. And with all the information, imagine that, and then eventually it's more likely to generate response that accurate to this case. Yeah, so that's basically the overall flow of RAG. And thank you, everyone. I have today's content also on my website, and I also have my linking contact information on my website. My website is called anyone.tech, and you can also find me at anyone.tech at linking and YouTube and X. Thank you, everyone. And I'm gonna pass it to Pretty.
Thank you, Annie. And thank you, Margaret. That was lovely. I'm just putting in your LinkedIn, Annie, in the chat for everybody to connect if they want. And I would do the same for Margaret's LinkedIn too. And please type your questions in Q&A so that we can take a look and help. Okay, so I see questions. Margaret, can you share the prompts you used to imagine 3 in your slides?
Yes, sure. And someone was also asking where can we get the slides. So we will share the slides on the event page. And before we post the slides, I will add the prompter to my slides.
Perfect. Another question is, I believe that would be for me. I got a warning my skill boost credit are expiring in a week or so. Not sure I'm hooked up with the GDG course. Can you follow on Discord if needed? Yes. The credits that are 35, those must be, if you go to the if you click on those credits and there is a subscription payment and subscription window, I believe. If you see, it will show you how did you get those credits. And my guess is that that is not part of this particular session series because we anticipate for you to get more credit than 35 to complete the sessions. I would like to ask a follow-up. This is a follow-up question. Did you register on Google Cloud Skill Boost with the same email address that you registered, that you used to sign up for these events with us? If yes, then you should automatically be part of it. If not, please share your email address with us, Timothy, and we can check that at our end whether you're added to the pool or not. But please do take this. Just remind us once and share your email address at this GDG Study Discord channel. All your questions about the cloud credits we'll try to answer there and try to answer them sooner there. please join Gen_AI_GCP channel. Another question I see is for embedding vector search, how accurate is it compared to traditional search? I think that's for Annie.
Oh, I think it really depends on the embedding model you're using, what you put in the vector DB, and what is the prompt you're using, and what is the AI model you're using. So it's everything put together, and that's gonna determine how accurate it is for your answer. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I was reading a couple of papers, just want to add to this. I'm not sure how accurate it would be, but I was reading that in the traditional searches, the vector representation is not as dense versus in embedding vector searches. And because of dense representation of embeddings, it helps it make better search compared to traditional. Okay. Another, please share the learning path link in Skill Boost. Okay. Another question for you, Annie. I'll quickly share the learning path in the chat. Another question is, to implement RAG, do we need set up our own vector database?
There are different type of library or like a vector DB you can use. So I know I saw another question is about how to set up a project for RAG. Maybe I can share with Pretty like some reference link, some project link, so that people can start, try it out and follow the example. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's awesome. I can always post it in Discord channel later. So I'll get the information from you, Annie, and I'll post it.
Yeah, I will
there.
share the demo link and some project reference link to you.
Right. But I do think, yes, as you said, just to add to that, I believe Pinecone, and then there is FAISS by Facebook. But yes, to answer, I believe we set our own vector database, if I'm not wrong. But I'll also try to find out more about it with you, Annie. Is there a course link? Yes, I mentioned. Is there a course link to know how to set up a project for RAG or Imagine? Okay, I believe that's been answered. What vector representation visualization tool do you use? Any vector representation visualization tool that we.
So the vector representation tool I use in the demo, it just simply from a website. I can share that link to you. I don't use any vector representation tool, but I can definitely research some if that's helpful for you.
For Imagine setup, and I believe the GenAI path, the second one, let's see, what is it called? The GenAI path has an Imagine thing. So let me just copy and paste in here again. So this path should have a Imagine introduction to image generation. And in there, it probably talk about Imagine briefly. In my talk today, the Imagine 3 features were just released by Google in December, end of December. So most people don't yet have access. Although, I can send you the documentation. You can look at it. Also, I plan to write blog posts and create video tutorials on Imagine 3, like with more details. Because today my talk is more very high level. You can only see the images. But I plan to write more detailed tutorials with code to show people how actually using Imagine 3.
Perfect. I'm just trying to share the links for the learning paths. This one that I shared is for beginner. And let me see another one. Okay, this is another path that we intend to follow in the series.
Also, feel free to share with us your screen too. I know you're pasting the links, but feel free, like if people ask more questions about the Google Cloud Skills Boost, or yeah, like any paths you want to show us.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. But let me see if there are any questions. Where can we get the slides? Slides will be posted on the actual event page. We take approximately a week, to clean up and just put them out there on the event page. So then you'll scroll towards the bottom and you'll find the video as well as the slides there. But give us some time. We usually announce when there's these things are available. Okay. Let me know if anybody has any more questions about the credits or, yeah, regarding credits. And I'm just pasting the links for what we intend to follow.
Yeah, we'll probably add because we had the GenAI path in our slides from last session. We'll probably add it to the event page as well, just for probably easier, especially those people who join for the first time, then they'll wait for a few days after the session to get the slides, then get the path. We'll just add the path to the event pages.
Right, absolutely. Also, we mentioned about our first series that we did, Margaret, the Google Developer Certification, and that was focused on machine learning. Just in case anybody is interested, I want to put the link for the series out there. All the sessions are part of this. Sorry, you'll find all the sessions we did recorded in this particular playlist that I just shared with you. Okay.
So I'm wondering, how's everybody doing with their studying? I asked that question on the chat, and one person said that going well. I'm just wondering, like, is everybody on the first pass, the intro pass, or on the second pass, or is everybody new here? Starting soon. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure today, even though it's the second session, some of you are just the first time joining. So you'll be. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's okay if you are just starting with the intro path and if you're new, because you can go back and watch our last video and also study on your own at your own pace.
I would really encourage everybody to use Discord chat as well, because as part of a study group, I believe it really, really helps if, when you are in doubt, exploring some concept, and if you put your questions out there, there might be people, other learners who might be struggling with the same issue, or just to understand the topic, they also need some support, or they may actually help you with that, including us. So I would really encourage you to use these platforms to collaborate.
Yeah. So I share my screen. That's the Discord link that you can. And I think Pretty also added the link in chat.
Right.
Are,
Awesome.
are, are there any more questions?
I don't see any questions.
Okay.
But I did paste the Discord in the chat, and I do see that Timothy, you were facing the issue, so I would say if we can connect on Discord, that would be great. Yeah, I would be happy to help you on Discord.
Oh, thank you, Trish. I'm glad to hear, Trish, that you enjoyed the session.
Stephanie, okay, I think there is one more.
You said there's one more question?
Yeah, I also have an issue with the credits. Is there one contact on Discord I can DM? So, yes, you will find me. So Preeti, you can type Preeti Yadav and you'll find me on Discord, or you can simply find GDG Surrey as user, and you can DM to either of them. So I am not anyway. Yeah, good point. Thank you. Also, if it is of any help, you can always connect with me on LinkedIn. Okay, what else? Can you go over? See, okay. Can you go over CLIP again, please?
That's fine for Margaret.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm a little lost. Where are we now?
Someone wants you to go over the concept of clip you talked about last time in the image generation, I think.
Oh, where was the question?
In Q&A on top.
Oh, on top. I was at the bottom of it. Okay, sure. So let me go over it. Sorry, I'm gonna just get out of here and try to go up like this. That was taking too long. Okay, so your question is over here, right? And as Annie went over the embeddings after my talk, I was just going through like really quick. So embeddings is actually a very important concept in not only vector search or kind of visual search or searching image, and it's also very important for us to, I would say, to give any kind of prompt to the models, because it has to be numbers, right? So clip is basically at kind of like a translation between the image and the text. And this is why whenever you use like a text to image model, generation model, you're able to actually input a text, and then the model actually will output an image. So it basically has a text encoder. As you see on the image, there's a text encoder, and there's also an image encoder over here, and it just acts as like a bridge between the two and connect an image and text and the images. I can give you some let me just type you in here. So if you want to learn more, here's also another link on the OpenAI research and talks about CLIP. Here's also another link that I'm putting over here. So these are the 3 links that I gave you that you can learn more about CLIP. And I also included this paper, learning transferable visual models from natural language supervision, to talk more about CLIP. And the CLIP is trained with 400 million image and text pairs. It's basically a mapping between the two by using embeddings. Okay. All right. So I think we are out of time. It's 8 o'clock. I am going to go back down to over here. Please join Discord and make sure to get access to Cloud Skills Boost. Again, if you just create an account, you can go to Cloud Skills Boost. You should be able to watch the videos and basically you can watch the videos. I am not sure if you can take the quiz or not without the credit. Maybe you could, but you cannot do the labs until you actually have the credit. So for those of you, some of you are new, so let me just show you real quick. So if I'm over here, the Cloud Skills Boost, right? You can click on the path. And this one, for example, you're on the beginner one. And if you are taking the very first class, right? Intro to GenAI, if you just create an account, you should be able to watch these videos. Right? You can watch these videos, and then you should be able to do the quiz as well. However, you cannot do a lab. Let me go back. So let's say we go back here. Oh, that's still a quiz. Let's see. This one should have a lab. So you see this little lab icon? So if I click on this lab, you can start the lab. Like I was able to just start the lab, and then I'm ending the lab. For you, if you don't have the credit, if you don't have access to it, when I say access, you can already create an account, you already have access to it. But if you don't have the credits, you will not be able to do the labs. So make sure you have this. By RSVP to our event, you should already automatically get the credits. But if you RSVP too late, like for example, if you didn't RSVP until today or this afternoon, you may not get these credits. So post your questions in Discord if you don't. And also try complete the Generate Smart GenAI one. Pretty already pasted the
link to
link
it.
there already, but if you are just here in the Google Cloud Skills Boost, this is what I'm talking about. This is the second one. You're supposed to be on the second one, but if you're not, you're on the first one, it's okay. Just do it on your own, at your own pace. And then you can get started on the third one. Again, I will add these paths to the slides, and it's already in the slide at the beginning, but I'll add them to the event. And then we will see you all on February 19th and session 3. And I am going to send the session 3 link here. just so that you can RSVP already. Then we will
Yep.
see you in 2 weeks.
Yep, I did. So for people who want to follow, like follow from beginning, there is link for first session in the chat for today's session and for the next session, and Discord. So see you. See you in the next event.
Great.